Our next guest, a very funny comedian. Tickets to his North American tour are available now. Please welcome back to the show one of our favorites, James Acaster, everybody. God, thank you. Thank you for repping with the merch.
It's pure coincidence. I also forgot I was doing this today. I was just walking through the streets of New York City, and someone just ran out and went, you're due on in 5.
Yeah.
I was like, due on what are you talking about? And when you're doing Seth Meyers today, and I was like, well, this is going to be awkward. I'm dressed in my Seth Meyers garb. He's going to think this is like some sort of kiss-ass thing. And they were like, honestly, his ego's so big, he'll love it. So they just got...
So you'll walk about on a city street with a mug from home.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to need a mug, Seth. In this life, you're walking around, and what if someone starts to propose a toast? And I'm like, I can't get in on this.
Yeah.
And show my support for what they're toasting.
Street toasts. New York is known for their street toasts.
Got to get it up there.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do as a prank? Sometimes in a bar, a friend will be going into the bathroom, they're taking you home my drink, and while they're gone, I'll propose a toast with their drink. And then when they get back, they don't know what they just drank to.
Oh, right, because they say, let's drink to, and then they have a drink and they never know.
They don't know, they're in the bathroom, and I say, let's drink to fascists. And then I put the drink there, and then they come back, and they're like, ah.
That's a good...
I'll say to them, hey, remember what earlier on? This guy's a massive fascist, right here.
I love having you in New York, but I was in your home state. I was in London.
Wax Tracks, Denver, Colorado, 8th of February.
What?
1:30. 1:30, Wax Tracks record store. I'm doing a Q&A.
Wait, sorry?
I'm doing a Q&A at Wax Tracks in Denver, Colorado, and because I don't have social media, they're very worried that people aren't going to show.
Okay.
1:30, 8th of February. It's a Q&A. I promise today I'm only going to answer, half answer all the Seth's questions. If you want to know the full answers, you've got to come to Wax Tracks. Put your hand up and ask the same question that Seth did, and I promise I'll give you the complete answer. 1:30, Colorado, Denver, Wax Tracks, record store. It's a record store.
1:30 in the afternoon on February 8th.
That is all I do when I come to America. I do late night with you, and I do Wax Tracks at 1:30 in the afternoon in Denver, Colorado.
But see, it feels like, it's a vicious circle, really, because if you had social media, you wouldn't have to use your time on my show to promote the only other thing you're doing.
It's annoying, and that's why I forgot about I was even on here. Because I'm walking around just thinking about Wax Tracks. And then someone comes up and goes, remember, you've got to go on Seth Meyers to promote Wax Tracks.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, man, I forgot about...
Well, just plan ahead so you're not wearing your Wax Tracks stuff at 1:30.
Well, that will, because I do have a Wax Tracks onesie. And if I get caught with that, that'll be very, very embarrassing at Wax Tracks.
You know what?
1:30 on the 8th of February.
I thought, we were at a place where maybe we'd get to hang out in London. I was in London. I have your phone number, and I reached out, and I said, hey, you want to get a drink? And...
You didn't. What's this in front of everybody? You kept on texting me going, limeys go home, too many limeys. You kept saying, there's too many limeys here. You went, limeys are absolutely getting on my nerves. Limeys go home. And I had to text back and say, Seth, this is where we live. This is our country. And you text back, I'm American. Seth, and then I tried to meet up with you, and you were like, yeah, you want to meet up with me? I'm where all Americans are in London, in the queue for Dishoom. And I had to go to Dishoom to find you, and you would text me going, I'm in the queue for Dishoom. I really want some Black Dahl. I'm jonesing for the Black Dahl. And then you would send me a selfie from the queue, and it was just Americans. It was like you, Zach Morris, Chuck E. Cheese and the Zodiac Killer. All queuing for Dishoom. Kaylee Cuoco was there.
Yeah.
Young
didn't know
Sheldon and old Sheldon.
Both Sheltons.
Very rarely do you see young Sheldon and old Sheldon together.
Yeah.
And by old Sheldon, I don't mean Jim Parsons. I mean the old Sheldon from the forthcoming series, Old Sheldon, which is a really, really old version of Sheldon.
Yeah.
And he's in a nursing home. He's got Alzheimer's, and he can't remember his life.
Yeah.
And they have to show him episodes of young Sheldon so that he knows what he even did. And the laugh track throws him. He's like, why are people laughing at me? Do I live in a country where intelligence is seen as humorous and something to be mocked? And they're like, yeah, you live in a country where it's funny if people are clever or a nerd, and we only respect ignorant bullies. Yeah, well, hey, if you want to hear the end of that, come to Wax Tracks, Denver, Colorado. 1:30,
Do you want to?
February the 8th.
If Wax Tracks wants to play the first half of your answer at the Q&A, and then you can just tag on the end.
Happily. I will happily do that, Wax Tracks, if you're watching. I hope they are watching. I should have promoted this at Wax Tracks so that the Wax Tracks people would watch this. Because actually, this is severely under-promoted, my appearance on
Oh, I think people knew you were coming here. By the way, I did a talk show in London. I was on Graham Norton's show.
You were.
Yeah. It was a big deal for me.
You did all the big talk shows in the UK. You did, like, the Yorkshire Pudding. You did Late Night Pudding Boys, Late Night with the Pudding Boys. Pudding Chat. Yeah. You did all of them?
Yeah. I realized I didn't have enough to say about pudding based on how many of them I did.
You had a few things to say, buddy. You should go online and see what he said on those shows. Very controversial.
I don't think it was that controversial.
He had a leather jacket on, and he put the collars up on the leather jacket, and you kept on saying this one's for the Swifties, and then passing wind, and you said the Earth was fat.
Flat.
No, you said fat. You're a fat earther. You actually believe it's more spherical than it is. You're like, it's so big. You know, there's actually more countries than we know about, and they're all named stuff that sounds kind of like countries we know, and there's only one world leader who dares pronounce them right in public. Donald Trump. And,
Are you worried about being a foreigner in this country, in the current political climate?
No way, man. All I've been doing since I've been here, I'm trying to rig your elections in the other way.
Oh, you are doing what he's most worried about. You're rigging elections.
Yeah, big time. I'm here, I'm rigging elections everywhere. I'm putting up fake, like, voting booths that say, like, Trump votes only on them. And when people go in, the door shut, it's an escape room.
Oh.
And in order to get out, they've got to solve this massive word puzzle where they've got to put, like, thousands of words in the right order and then read it out loud, and then they realise that it's the, like, unredacted Epstein files.
Oh. That's good.
It's a really good trick.
You have a podcast called Off Menu. It's about food.
Yeah.
And you had the Robert De Niro on your podcast.
We had Bob De Niro on. My friend now.
Are you friendly? Did you get a meal with him afterwards?
All we do is eat meals.
Yeah.
We constantly go. We always enter through the kitchen in a oneer.
Oh, so even when you go to a regular restaurant, it's a oneer back.
Yeah, we went to Jack in the Box. You know Jack in the Box?
Yeah.
Just a oneer, very short. Was quite an abrupt oneer. It's a small kitchen, and then you sit down and you chat to Bob. You know that he only speaks in De Niro quotes?
That's not true.
No, it's true. And here's the thing, a lot of people don't know. He doesn't watch any of his films, so he gets the quotes wrong a lot.
Oh, that's awful.
He says, I'm the taxi driver, baby!
Yeah, that's not. I've seen that movie a bunch of times. That's definitely
Bob, that's not one of your films. But
Yeah.
that's like, you know, he said to me the other day, he said, you know what my favourite film of mine is? Is Meet the I was like, Bob, with all due respect, it's called Meet the Fockers.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, I think I would know. If I was in a film that doesn't even make any sense. It's funny. Fockers is not a word. I was like, Bob, that's why it's funny. It's like it nearly is, but it's not. That's why everyone found that so funny when he was called Fokker. He said, funny how? Funny. I said, that's not you, that's Pesci.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm out of here. And then he went to leave and he opened the door and it blowtorched his head.
So we got Pesci'd again.
He got double Pesci'd. And then when his hair was on fire, he went, smoking.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody stop it. And I was like, Bob, you weren't in the mask. He's like, I was in the mask. I said, I want an Oscar for The Mask. He's adamant about this, says it all the time. Says, I want an Oscar for The Mask and a Critics' Choice. Said, I would have won the Golden Globe, but Denzel won it for playing Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball.
Man, don't meet your heroes, right?
Well, don't meet your hero, sure, but like Bob De Niro is still my hero, and so is The Mask.
Hey, I did a live Taskmaster in New York City. You did a whole series.
I did.
And they actually, as it turned out, this was amazing. Me and John Oliver, it was 3 people who were just fans in the crowd.
Yeah.
They asked you to do it
Yeah.
here in the States.
I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to. But like, you did great, by the way.
You
Well
didn't
done.
see it.
No, I heard all about it. I did go and see it. I was in the audience. I watched it, and like they were. I did. I saw it. It was really hardcore. The tasks that they do on the live one are way hardcore. Like, make a dog. Fastest wins. It was amazing, Seth. And your approach to that was really novel, and I like it. I like it on that show where people like, pardon the pun, when they like think outside the box and they have different approaches to the tasks. And like, who was that? Who saw it? Who's that? Some people. Who didn't see it? That's what. Like, can I tell them how you did it? Because it was amazing. He jacked off the dog. It was so good, Seth.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you deserved to win.
Yeah.
And the only reason he didn't win was because the person, someone from the audience won, and who was, in their defence, in your defence, a dog. They were a dog. And dogs know just how they like it. So that's not on you. You did well on that one.
Thank you, buddy. And it's just so nice to have you here.
Who would think that would be the answer that saved the interview? The rest of it, I felt like I was on a tightrope, and then as soon as I said you made a dog, we were on easy street. That shouldn't have been what turned it around.
But here we are. We're living in crazy times.
We're living in these crazy times, Seth, and if there's one thing I know, it's that the place to be is Wax Tracks, Denver, Colorado, February the 8th.
James Acaster, everybody, tickets to his North American tour